boo. Happy Bow Tie Friday. I'm Austin Griffith. I'm hanging out with the Build Guild. We're Build Guilding. We're guild building. We get on every other Friday and show off what we're building for the Build Guild. Let me show you. I'm starting. I'm taking it over. I'm taking the screen wider right away. I want to show this. Okay, so this is an old school build. This is like a fork of multisig.lol. And it's meant specifically for scholarships. And it's really easy because I can get in here and I can YOLO this and I can YOLO some amount and I can hit go and sign some message blindly and it drops into a transaction pool and I hit execute and I'm able to send someone a scholarship like that. You look at that, I didn't even read my MetaMask. It was like boop, 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 boop. And I use this every day. I use this multiple times a day sometimes. And this is just like a simple app. It's an example of forking something for a specific use case. I just wanted to show it off because it's something that I think Name built it, the guy who works on multisig.lol. But I just use it every day. And I think that's one of our target, obviously we're going through and we're learning things and it's about education and some things we put on the shelf, some things we try to get users with, but I am a everyday user of this. And I just wanted to show it off that it's just like this random Scaffold-Eth build that's a random fork from multisig.lol that just happens to be super useful for my use case of giving out quick scholarships. So I just wanted to show that out. Shout out to Name, shout out to all the multisig.lol builders. That's just one of the apps, one of the many apps kind of that came out of the Scaffold-Eth ecosystem, and it's something I use all the time. I doubt many other people use this, but this is getting close to what account abstraction will look like eventually too. You'll probably just go to a website and rally up that transaction, and whether you have to get more signatures or not, and it'll be less MetaMask-y and more contract quality. But anyways, hearts to the Build Guild, hearts to the builders. Okay, second thing. Boom, Build Guild website. Check this out. We got a new redesign. It is looking so nice. Shout out to Andrea and Mr. D and Jonathan Palmer and Carlos and Shiv, all the designers and the builders that made this happen. It's looking so cool, man. I just love this so much. I love this design. I love this vibe. And also we're focusing on, the psychology here of you're a builder, you're landing on the website. We want to get you started right away with Speedrun Ethereum, right? If you're an advanced builder, right? If we don't get you with this one, if you're an advanced builder, then we want to take you to something a little bit more advanced, show you that you can go fork this DEX or state channel or multisig, and you can get something going, but you're still kind of learning, right? These are still challenges. And then if that doesn't catch you, hopefully this prototyping stack will, right? If you're building stuff in Web3, if you're trying to build decentralized apps, this is absolutely the best place to get started. Scaffold-ETH2 will help you build those apps quickly. And then, once we're in an ecosystem and we're building all these things, there's sort of this combo move of kind of cool things that are getting built. And obviously kind of at the end, Build Guild is giving grants and we're getting big grants and giving small grants, right? We're spending a lot of time thinking about how we can support up and coming high impact devs. And we're supported by folks at the Optimism Foundation and the Ethereum Foundation and other foundations within the space. But feel free to connect with us on partnerships. And then down at the bottom, I think we've got a few things here. BG Labs is a great place to go learn. Our shipping log is a great place to see what's up. And our tech tree right now is still just a Miro board, but we're working on it. It's getting closer and closer every day. But huge shout out to everyone who made this new website possible. It's so cool. And the app, if you're still going to withdraw from your streams, you'll just go to the app and you'll go to the old website and all of that stuff is here. We'll probably end up cleaning up this landing spot into just like a single page instead of displaying all the builders and everything. But hearts. Thank you all for making this work so well. It looks so good. I love the design. It's kind of Mobius-esque. It's kind of, really kind of leans into some of the Ethereum values and hopefully like leaning into open learning and a lot of the stuff we're doing. So shout out to the team for making that happen. BuidlGuidl.com, BuidlGuidl.com. Check that unfurl. Looks so good. Okay, Port, you are up next. Port, and then
right.
Codechef is next. Take it away. Thank you, sir.
All right. Now let me share my screen. Probably this is less exciting than what Austin showed us right now.
I'll hype man you. We got Port up next. Boo, 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 boo. Here comes a screen share. Check out this code. Look at this hackathon struct.
Yeah, this is a very basic contract that I wrote for like voting for hackathon projects on chain. So this employs like a very basic state variables and some events and some modifiers. Then we have a contractor that takes like owner, start time, end time, and the hackathon name. Then we are able to add voters and add projects. And notice that these are like really basic right now. These could be like improved on. Like Austin suggested that we use Merkle trees, like instead of like putting addresses one by one. And it also has some vote functionality, removing project, and some basic functions too. So to deploy this hackathon voter, we use a factory. And in this factory, again, I tried to keep everything very basic to get to an MVP version of the app. So we have a struct, a hackathon struct, some variables, and this is where the magic happens, like creating a hackathon voter. We basically push it, create it and push it into an array of hackathons. And the front end for this is, again, a very simple one. So if you're the owner, you can see the deploy hackathon voter here. You go here and maybe put your own address here. You choose a start date and an end date. And by default, it's a week. And you give it a name. Let's say super duper make a hackathon 1, 2, 3. And this is a two-step process. You first prepare data and you then deploy the contract. And possibly this would make use of like the Scaffold-Eth TXH component. I'm gonna probably create a component like that, just like we have the address one. So I think it could be very useful to create such a component. And after that, the users, let's create another tab, and the users can see it here, but the admin, the owner of the hackathon, can see the remove hackathon button too. Then the user goes to vote. He can see like 2 tabs here, vote for projects and leaderboard, but the admin can see like 3, vote, add, and leaderboard. So the admin can add voters just like, regular address adding here. And he can write the voters to the contract. Again, this is a 2-step progress, and maybe add some projects here and write them to the contract. And then these appear here. And the users, like the voters that are added to the contract, can vote for them. Let's add this address too, real quick. Maybe another project could be good. Oh, yeah. So we got 2 projects and we got 2 voters, owner and this little guy right here. Right. So you can vote on projects if you have money, of course. You can vote on projects. Maybe this could be made into like a signing process rather than like sending a transaction. And you can change your vote. Let's see. Yeah. And the leaderboard reflects the votes of that project. Maybe for like choosing the projects, we can use a background image here because this app is very weak visually right now. And so this is an MVP of the like hackathon voter project that I'm currently building. And like I plan to make this as usable as possible, like for future hackathons. Like if we had something like this back in our like Scaffold-ETH2 hackathon, I think it would be great. Like I think that was where I got the idea. I don't know who said it, but someone said it would be nice if we had something like this. So that's how I built this. And again, I'm open to any kind of feedback. So DM me or like at me in Telegram for like letting me know what you think of this app.
And there's also the optimism round where they did retro PGF funding and they needed to have a bunch of projects and have people vote on those projects. And we ended up using some form and it didn't even do validation that like you had 100% of your votes out there. Like very simple programming was not built into this app. So the user interface for some of these hackathons are still, or fundraising rounds or whatever, are still pretty, immature, and we're still building these. So to add to this, like we are going to see Optimism put out something that like, hey, we would like an app that does this, or we would like to be able to vote on projects and be able to submit projects. And so the Build Guild is definitely going to attack that stuff. So keep an eye out for that soon. So this was basically like on-chain hackathons. I don't know if I've ever actually seen someone run a hackathon fully on-chain where people were voting on-chain. It could be really interesting. But this could be used for a lot of different things. Here's the thing I want to dive into, though. I want to dive into something much more simple and silly, and it's the address input component. And I think I talked to you about this, Port. You said basically, I was just making the input form real quick. If we ended up using this, I would have used an address input. There was a moment there where you were filling out a form and you pasted in an address and it didn't have the little blocky preview and the link to the block explorer and a lot of those fun things. And you're saying that like, well, it was just easier for me to make an input component. And I think we need to think about this with Scaffold-ETH2, where the moment you go to make that input and you know that it's an address, it needs to be just as easy for you to say address input and then have all of those really nice things that come along with Scaffold-ETH2. Honestly, I think it's as easy, and maybe it's just more about training and learning and me bugging you a couple times and be like, yo, use address input instead of input, because you can get a lot of good stuff out of it. But just kind of highlighting that a little bit, that component is there and it's really useful. And we as tool makers need to see you use it and not use that address input. And then we need to think more through that psychology of how we kind of just like naturally expose you to the fact that there is an address input instead of just an input. So I don't know, things to think about. I think Code Song is up next. If you want to take it over, any questions for Port? Any last comments on on-chain hackathon? Okay, let's go with Code Song. Codechef, sorry, Codechef Song. We've seen some fun games out of your corner. I'm excited to see what you have for us.
Okay, so I want to share my screen.
We got another one.
Okay, let's see now. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, all right, so I build like a simple Flowerverse, basically like a metaverse, but for Flowerverse. And over here, this is your garden, and yeah, some tools and some bags where you can print some seeds to go with flower. So you will, since we have nothing, we will click here to buy some seeds. And then you can click on, can purchase some seeds. So if I go back, now we have a seed, so we can just drag and drop to any of the grid, and we'll print the seeds. And then you have some tools, you can water the seeds and it will turn to a flower. So if I drag it here to water seeds, it will turn into a flower. And then you can also cut the flower so you can get some more seeds. So this one will get like 2 seeds. And so now you have like 2 seeds, and then you keep on printing more seeds. And that's what I have so far. And it's supposed to be like a time base, but they had time to add that feature yet. And yeah, that's what I got so far.
Oh man, let's straight to mainnet with this one. Let's see if the Degens want to plant some seeds on mainnet. This is like it's like a classic like clicker game where you kind of plant one thing and get 2 things back. This is like the basic part for, then you could add different flowers and have different flowers have different NFT values. It seems like there should be some time in between planting it and it growing, right? Maybe you have to water it and then wait some period. But these are so fun. All of your little games. I think we had a game where you were hatching chicks the other day too. Just every other Bowtie Friday, Codechef gives us a fun little game, and I'm excited for this. This is great stuff. You keep building these. These are a lot of fun.
Okay. Thank you.
Maybe we focus in on one of these and we take it a little farther and we go bigger with it and try to put it on some, maybe not mainnet. I mean, it would be a lot of fun to see this on mainnet, but it would be very expensive and kind of, I don't know, a little weird. But man, we could put this on Optimism or something. That might be fun.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do
Keep
that.
building. Most
Okay.
important, keep building, keep making these things. Let's keep circling up on these ideas too. I love these things that you're making.
Yeah,
Okay.
it could
Go
be
ahead.
interesting in Ethereum mainnet. You wanna water the flower, and you see that the $50 fee, and oh no, you wanna kill the flower.
There was an early
might want to.
token. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you might want to kill the flower after seeing the fee in mainnet.
Right. Like I'm not trimming this thing, not for $20. There was an old coin called Potato Coin or Potatoin or Potate Coin or something like that, made by Peter, the guy who started Geth, way back in the day. And the coin, you had to plant it and then you had to harvest it by a certain time or it would rot. And if you left it out for too long, it would rot. But basically you could plant it and get more from it. And it was on mainnet, and it worked for a while, but then people didn't pay attention, and then it got too expensive, and then it kind of just like disappeared because of that like rotting effect. There was never a chance to pick it back up. So there's some fun psychological mechanics that you can put into the games where if no one's playing, maybe it just like freezes for a little bit, and then if someone gets more interested in it, then the whole mechanics start up again or something like that. But yeah, these are really fun. I look forward to the day that we put a Codechef game on mainnet and see what the DGens think about that, because it's just simple enough. It's just crazy enough it could work. I think it's fun. Okay, I think we have NZM next. I don't know if NZM.
NZM, yeah. Can you hear
That's
me?
you. There we go. We got you.
Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead. Share your screen. Show us what you built. We got you. Yep. I got a screen. Oh, these look great.
Okay.
Nice.
So my idea was I wanted to implement like 3 different properties of NFT. First being on-chain, like GPT. Second being them dynamic, so not only like animation, but also they will change based on time. And the third property to give them some functionality. And also like at different stages, they should have different functionality. So that's the core idea. So I made Peeps. So basically you mint 1 Peep and they get 4 stages, like kid, adult, old, and dead. This is on Polygon. I'll show on Mumbai because it's on Polygon they live like for a few weeks. So, but on Mumbai they live like for a few minutes. So first you mint them. You mint from a contract. You get a kid. He's like small and everything. Okay. So you have a Peep, like its token ID, who's the owner, like parents, kids, status, and when it will become adult. This local time, and you also can hover it and show time there. So first functionality, you can change the name, like PG. While he's a kid, you can change his name as much as you want. You can, you can change it. You can remove it. You can make it again default if you want, but only while he's a kid. Then they become adults. Let me check. Oh, now name changed. Now PG. So when they become adults, wait, I can show it on Polygon. So when they become adults, you can breed. You can pick any 2 peeps, like for example 1, and I can breed them, and I'll get new kid. You can also allow someone else to breed to you, so they can mint 1 peep, and they can use your peep to breed. They will keep 1 kid, that's the newborn kid, but you will get like 30% of the breeding fee. So they won't be there forever if you don't, you don't feel to breed. You don't feel like to breed or something. You can just allow someone else and kind of earn like small money if you want. So this is the second functionality. Then they become old. Well, let me check 26. Oh, when they are old, also you can see that it grew up. It has like some mustache, like different body color and stuff, everything. So when they grow up, they can breathe. Then they get old. When they are old, they can give a head to your grandkid. Like if Peep has a kid, like for example, I think here, yeah, you can see like parent 1, 2, and kid ID 3. So this is the kid of this kid. So if this kid breeds again, his kid will be grandkids of this one, right? And this one will be able to give the head, like here. Like this one doesn't have, but you'll see like 7, for example, right? You put 7, you give a head, and it will have. I think I have one with the head. Yeah, like head like this. So they will have, and they will have forever. You don't need to own grandkids. So if you, for example, allow someone else to breed, and then they allow, so you don't even know who owns like your grandkids, but you still can give them a head. And then they die. And then when they die, they have different eyes, like gray body and stuff. And then you can bury them. That's the last functionality. You can.
He's got to switch network so he can bury his Peep.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on.
So, like for example, we buried this one. So when you bury them, it will have gravestone with some statistics like the name, owner, and stuff. And it's also history. So it will be forever like this. And that's the last like functionality that will be forever basically a gravestone or a dead body. You can keep the dead body like that. Doesn't fit with. Yeah,
There it is.
Is
Cool.
the gravestone like name, like the address. It should be minutes. Like he lived about 5 minutes. He had parents, no kids. And it will be like this forever. And also,
And
like,
it'll look like that
can,
on OpenSea, right? Like we could go to OpenSea and look at it,
I haven't
and
checked
the
it,
gravestone will be there if you
yeah,
refresh the metadata.
Yeah. So you can like basic functionality. You can pick only yours. You can pick like readable if you want. If you have a lot of them. And also the last limiting is that you can only have 20 minted Peeps alive. If people minted like 20 Peeps, you can only get new one by breeding. And breeding you can only breed 3 times, but you can have twins. Like small probability, but you can have twins. So if you are like extremely lucky, you can have 6, but majority of them have maximum 3. And you can breed any with any. I don't have any limits, and like they're genderless. So I had like male and female, but I minted like 5 males, and you can breed them. So I just removed it. And that's it. Yeah. And also, yeah, if you want to check it, you can click here, and you get like with GitHub. So if you like something, you can copy it or you can check it. Yep. If you have any questions. Okay.
I don't have enough Matic to mint. I'm trying to bridge in some Matic right now, so I have enough to mint on mainnet. What a cool project! That's fun.
Send you.
Oh no, I'll figure it out. It's on the way. I'm definitely gonna mint a Peep for 5 Matic though. I'm gonna get the 4th ID. That's awesome stuff.
Yeah.
So you have breeding. First of all, everything's on chain, right?
Yeah.
Like all of this stuff lives in the contract. Do you want to show us the contract a little bit? I feel like maybe like the breed function might be interesting to look at in the contract. The render function is obviously really interesting, where it like switches to a gravestone and shows that all, and that's all in Solidity.
This is like breed. It checks it's breedable, and breedable checks like if you approve it also can be approved, like is approved owner. Checks the time. It should be like an adult. It shouldn't be a kid. It shouldn't be old. It should be an adult, if you can. And also like breed count should be less than 3. So you check the breedable. You get, if it's like as I said, you only earn 30% if you allow someone else to check. If you like not the owner, so it will send 30% to you, and then it creates. Then checks for twins. If you have twins, it's creates 2 kids. If not, it creates 1. And the kid just gets a number, and we'll just get some properties and everything. Just and the token URI here, like you call this, like it gets description, like attribute image, and image comes from here. It checks the time. So if you kid, it gets adult, and over everything. And then if it's kid, like you have jeans and you make like background, legs, and arms, and all that stuff.
There's
So
the
it's a
rendering.
lot.
Yeah. Really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. I needed to like deploy 3 different contracts because it's too much and it doesn't fit everyone. Yeah, but you have different backgrounds, different like arms, different bodies, and everything. Oh, and also like when you breed, it gets colors of one parent and eye colors from the other. So, and also like you can see it's gradient. The first color is kid's color and the second one is the old color. Kind of like little thing.
It's really
Yep.
fun. Can you estimate how much time you spent on this? Like where would you put the like hours put into Peeps?
Well, the last
A lot of
time-
it's for learning, of course, but yeah.
Yeah. The bow tie Friday, I only draw like SFG, some of them. So 2 weeks ago. So I assume like 2 weeks ago, 10 days back.
Fun.
The most
Awesome.
time I spent on React. Like, I hate React. So,
That's what
so
everybody
this part
says.
is like easy. You just write what you want, like, and React is
You
yeah.
write like
Like
these intensive contracts that render things and breed and have all these rules in it specifically to make the mechanic work. And then you spend twice as long getting the damn React to center a div. Yeah.
And it's
Been
like,
there.
how can I know that MX it's like shifts like a little bit, like the ID, for example, like it always was here. I didn't know I need to use MX. How can I know that it's MX to use? Like, I don't know. It's not intuitive.
Great stuff. I am going to look for your BuidlGuidl profile too. I haven't seen, I don't know if I've seen your other builds yet. So it's good to...
I showed like chat stream
Okay.
like a month ago.
Okay, cool. Awesome stuff.
Thank
We need to get you on a stream and keep you building these things. These are great builds. So fun that kind of, like I said, a lot of this is like you learning, right? Like you're now you have the chops to build, you know, the coolest NFT project that exists.
Well, as I said, I wanted to implement like
inspiration.
3 different properties because I saw like dynamic, I saw like SVGs, but no one implements all of them together. So I want to just, if I can do it, like okay, I can do it, like I can show it works.
Yeah, that's awesome. Keep going. Yeah. Oh yeah. Hit us up with live sites as you guys are demoing these things. If you paste them in here, then when I eventually tweet them and when we put them on the YouTube, we'll have links to all this stuff. Since these are like live on Matic and you can buy them on mainnet, definitely put that link up here so other folks can go mint if they want. Okay, I think Lulox, you are our last presenter, and then I'll present a little create ETH stuff that Carlos and company have been cooking up. And I think we're good to go, but awesome build. First of all, NZM, like so cool, like keep building. Let's figure out how to keep you building too. I'll reach out in the DMs. Next up is Lulox though. Let's see what Lulox has for us today. Finger crossed on his connection, he says. I hope you have a good one. We'll see. Go ahead and take over if you're ready. Oh yeah, we got a screen. Oh yeah, we got a screen. Sportsbook, here we go. I don't think we hear you though. Unmute. Lulox, you're muted if you're talking. Oh, wait, maybe not. You're unmuted, but we still don't hear you, I don't think. Unless everybody else hears him and I don't.
Yeah, we can't hear.
Yep. Oh, no. Yeah, we can't hear him. Maybe, how about this? How about, I'm going to steal the screen away. Lulox, you figure out your mic. I think your mic's not working. I'm going to steal the screen away and just show something real quick. But you get your microphone working and hit me up and we'll let you take over with the last thing. Okay, here's what I want to show. It's something super cool that they've been cooking up that makes it really easy to start a new project. So when you're ready to start your next dApp, you're really ready to build a decentralized app, you can do this command, npx create ETH. That's it. That's all you need. Isn't that cool? npx create ETH. If you want to get the latest code, you can add this onto it. And then if you want to maybe name your project, some project. Oh, are you back? Oh, okay. I don't know. I was getting some. Yeah, I think we hear you now. I think you're good. Okay, let me finish showing this off and I'll hand it back over to you, Lulox. Okay, so MPX create ETH is going to give you also something else. Uh-oh, I messed something up here. Some project, right? We want that right there. So this is going to give me something else cool. And let me show you this. It's going to be a question of whether you want hard hat or foundry. I feel like this is a big victory for us with Scaffold-Eth because we've been kind of hard hat oriented, and a lot of folks have given us the feedback that they'd love to see foundry. So now it's really easy. MPX create ETH, you select foundry, and now you have your project set up. You have Scaffold-Eth backed by Foundry or Hard Hat. Everything works the same commands, yarn deploy, yarn chain, yarn test, maybe. I don't know if yarn test works yet. Yarn test, yarn generate, yarn deploy, all of those things that you were using with Scaffold-Eth work natively either on Hard Hat or Foundry, and you can get in, you know, underneath the abstractions and start working on those. So there we go. So we CD into some project, and we yarn, did our yarn install already go? That's even better. Yarn chain to fire up our Foundry, yarn deploy to deploy our contract. Whoops, didn't mean to do that, sorry. And then yarn start to bring up our app. And now we should have a smart contract app that we can tinker with already, right? There's our app, there's our debug page. If I go to code something up, I can go make a small change to our smart contract and we should see it. Let's go to the Foundry source directory. Let's go look at our contract here. And let's just make a change here. Let's say address public. This is what I always do for everything. Boss. And I'm going to set it equal to this dude's address and paste it in, and let's see if I can deploy and we have a new boss, new boss. Oh no, what did I do? Public, oh no, I spelled it wrong.
Typo.
Public. Let's try again. Bad demo. Here we go. Deploying using Foundry and Anvil. And yes, sure enough, we now have a boss over here in Scaffold-Eth. So this is the best way to get your project started. If you're just anything you want to tinker with quickly, you can just do MPX create ETH, name your project, get going, start testing in Hard Hat or Foundry. So many awesome possibilities from this. We have all the cool stuff that you get with Scaffold-Eth out of the box, and Foundry below the abstractions. So shout out to the Scaffold-Eth crew and their new CLI. You should definitely try it out. And if you have any feedback, I've broken it a couple times already. Get an issue into the repo or bug me and I can do that, or bug Carlos or something like that. We can figure it out. But awesome build. I'm so excited to show this off to so many people because it just makes it so easy. I can just go to anybody's machine and just MPX create ETH and we can get a project going. Okay, Lulox, you want to take it away? Let's see if we've got audio now. Go ahead and take the screen if you'd like. There we go. We got it. Sportsbook. Let's see if we got your audio.
Hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a long presentation for this. It's like when you have a match with another team, a local team, like a group of your friends against a team of other people that are friends. You can challenge them here. Let's say I'm challenging this other tab. I'm gonna copy the address and I create the challenge. I'm gonna use the same as referee. It shouldn't be like that because it determines the result of the match and who gets the betted amount. But I allowed it for testing. And I bet some ETH. I use the Scaffold-Eth thing that switches between dollars and ETH. And you create a challenge and it appears in the other interface. You can accept it and bet the same amount. And then, well, I'm the referee, I can start the challenge. And then you can't cancel it anymore. You just can't input who wins. Well, I started and I say it was a tie. So the price goes equal to each of the teams playing. It should be something that allows to withdraw the prize, not distribute it when the referee puts the score, but I didn't do it in the contract yet. Well, you can update the referee. That's what was bugging me the most. Let's see.
See those address input components port? See how he pastes in an address and we see the preview?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna change this. I say that propose to update referee, and now I open it here. I accept, and it changes, or it should change. Yeah, it changes, and now the referee is the other team, the green one. And well, the hardest part of doing all this front end was fighting with events. Once I understood how event works, the event hooks work, it all flows like good. Yeah,
which event hook did you use?
They use a scaffold event subscriber and event history.
Okay.
I can show some of the code if you want, but it's just a simple thing. I want to implement with VRF for betting with a coin toss, and I want to implement like if there are some oracles with real life sport matches, so you can bet on a percentage market like yes, no, like polymarket. I don't know if I can mention them, but this is like the simplest way of betting, and I wanted to make it.
Awesome. Good build. Yeah, it's fun. I feel like whenever you learn about blockchain and smart contracts, like these are some of the first contracts you make. Like these are the ones that like, okay, I can have like a permissionless betting system and I can have two people bet. And then it's like, oh, wait, then I need to have someone that can like resolve the bet. And then that's like an attack vector, and someone else could like pay off someone to resolve the bet in their way, even though it's not. And you kind of have to go down this long rabbit hole of both oracles and randomness. Sometimes there's a lot of interesting stuff there.
Yeah, it's not trustless. I know it's flawed, but it makes for a good prototype for doing other type of bets more complex.
Yep.
More complex.
And now you can sit down and crush one of these apps pretty quickly, probably. So that's what a lot of this is about. You know, sometimes we're just making silly NFTs for fun, and it's just to get us like enough knowledge so we're ready. So when we're ready to attack and build something, you know, for real users, we just sit down and do it. MPX create ETH to the moon. Awesome build. Good stuff, Lulox. Good builds by everybody. Good bow tie Friday today. Any last like closing comments, questions, builds, anything out there?
Hey, I got a question.
Hit us.
Yeah, it's kind of about the build I showed off last bow tie Friday, and it's about I'm trying to figure out if there's a way to use like some sort of blockchain system to handle API keys. So basically, the build needed people to kind of store their API keys from like their ghost publication. So you would get your API keys, and you would need the app to like kind of encrypt your API keys so no one else can steal it or something. So is there like a way to handle stuff like that?
I don't think I understood that totally. Maybe someone else can answer it, but you're talking about so you have users API keys, or users are putting in their API keys and you're trying to, I think I missed that.
Yeah, something users are putting in their API keys so the app can actually interact with their ghost blog on their behalf. So a way to like encrypt those API keys so not the owners or admins of the app can actually get access to their API keys, like in a decentralized way.
Yikes. Yeah, that's tricky because usually those are all local and they never get, you're saying that you have some service that you're running, but you need somebody else's API key so you can make that service work. And you'd rather have it so the API key comes in some encrypted way so you as the admin can't just like take their API key and do something weird with it. I don't know what a good answer is for that. Usually, I mean, usually it's like you put it on them and they do the compute stuff on their side in their own isolated area where they put in their own API key. But I don't, yeah, I'd have to look at it closer. I don't know if anybody else has any input on this.
Okay, so I think I did something with Mina with ZK bridge. So Mina has this zero knowledge bridge that they are talking about. Maybe it might help you, like, so I think with that you can like hide the data and like they have to prove that it's their data. So I'm not fully confident about it, but that's like the first thing that comes to my head.
Yeah, maybe we can go offline. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, if you have a link, I could just check it out.
Let's also just go async in Telegram. Hit me up on Telegram and maybe I can help you hunt it out kind of asynchronously in text too.
Okay, great.
Awesome.
So I do have a question.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I've been building out the dynamical stuff I was building. And one of the major is two questions. The first question is how do you simulate DeFi strategy? Like in Forex, you do backtesting. So like how do you backtest your DeFi strategy? I saw somebody talking about it, but like how did you do that? And the second one is I'm still working on my Oracle stuff. And can you simulate transactions, like simulate transaction with the contract states? Like that's what I'm looking into. I've been looking into like the core EVM, but
This is a really good question. So this gets like when you're like deeper into creating some strategy, like you're back testing it, but you'd like to have something that's like a mainnet fork, but that continues to play things. Or you can even go to like a period, like let's go to January 2021 and let's play through 2021 again, but with this strategy in place or something like that. I saw something like today or yesterday that someone posted that lets you kind of play transactions against you basically, I think you create a mainnet fork or you create a fork and then you give it a bunch of data from some time period and it replays it on your fork. Or you could even just have a mainnet fork and then channel live data into the fork so things keep happening. But I think from a high level, I don't think I can even answer this question because it's deeper into the weeds and I haven't ever done this myself. So I don't have a great answer, but I have seen just recently, I saw someone post something up where they were like making these back tests work where you could have a fork and you could stream in transactions and it would basically run those transactions on your local thing. And that gives you like the ability to have kind of like some live stuff happening so you can see if your strategy works. But this is deep enough that I've never done this before. And that's like awesome that you're in the weeds this deep. Let me see if I can find that and I'll hit you up asynchronously with a link. I can't find it right now, but it was this morning on Twitter. I saw someone had built something similar to this, but I'll send it to you when I find it. If anybody else has anything else, I don't know. I'm just not that big of a degenerate. I don't have enough DeFi chops. I haven't really gone that deep into it. So yeah, if someone else has any feedback, hit it up. If not, I'll find that in a second. Awesome. Yeah, I'll look for it. Was there two questions there? Sorry. So like how you do the back testing or how you do the strategy, and was there a second thing? Sorry, I haven't answered the first one yet, but maybe we can get you an answer eventually.
Okay, so the second one is I'm playing with the other like the architecture behind Chainlink oracles. So I'm still like trying to like play with it properly. And I wanted to ask, how is there a way you can simulate?
Oh, simulate the oracle, right? So okay, so when you use a Chainlink oracle, a lot of times you're going to make you make a call to their system and you pay a little bit of money, and then eventually they're going to come back and hit some kind of callback function, right? And that callback function is something that only they can hit, that's like controlled by them, sort of. First of all, you could just do it on a test net and you could hit their infrastructure and they come back. But if you want to do this in your own environment and you don't have someone locally, I think what you can do is you could basically build a system that just hits that callback. You can make that callback accessible to some admin, and then you can have some like heavy-handed admin that basically you call to and say, hey, I want some VRF randomness. And it just says, okay, I'm going to wait a little bit. And then I'm going to call your callback with a pseudo random number that I come up with, just to allow you to test and simulate whether or not it's going to work. So yeah, there's basically testnet and then kind of building your own kind of shim that calls that callback on your own. I think those are my two guesses there.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I'll
Yeah,
like
for
look
sure.
into this.
Yeah, I'm gonna find that like local node playback thing that I saw this morning and send it to you. But man, I need to be more of a degenerate builder. I think if I was more of a degenerate builder, I probably wouldn't be here with you guys every other Friday showing off cool prototypes, be on some island somewhere in a little swimming suit. All right, awesome. Happy Bowtie Friday. I think we did it. I think, oh yeah, that's it. It's so this. That's what it's called. That's the thing I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's made by Make on. Yeah.
Yep. Good job, Port. You know, Port's got context. He's in the trenches on Twitter, finding all the good stuff, making the memes, cooking the memes. All right, awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this, I think he linked it there, but if you follow Make, it's make_KBO. I'll send it here too. Yeah, I think you got it. But I just saw that this morning, and it looks like it might be what you're looking for, being able to replay sets of transactions locally against some other fork or something. Okay, awesome. We did it. Happy Bowtie Friday. Thanks y'all for showing up. Thanks y'all for showing off. Thanks for being here. See you in a couple of weeks. Let's do this again in a couple of weeks and show off what you're working on. If anybody's stuck on anything, reach out. If you're looking for something new to build, reach out. But just keep building cool stuff and showing them off on Friday. Let's keep making prototypes. All right, hearts. See you guys later. Happy Bowtie Friday.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.